Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of chapter 1 of The Elder Scrolls Online. So if you remember last time, hacked the temple, came up here, investigations. Our vampire friend Fenorian found some alchemical residue. Friends Lyris, who told us about it. It's to Ambrit. Here, in this area that I'm in now, we build the system and found something and follow him.
Do you see? These are the same as the urns smuggled from Bankarai. They didn't just shatter, they exploded. I can sense traces of magicka clinging to the shards that match the energy used in the storm ritual. These other fragments, though.
Other fragments?
All this rubble scattered around didn't just come from these urns. The texture and patterns are different. They appear to have used the funerary dust in the urns to summon the Harrow Storms. But I'm not sure what was inside the larger vessels. Look at the shape of the fragments. They come from a hollow receptacle of some sort. Something at least as tall as you. Perhaps larger. Just another piece of the puzzle. Maybe when I analyze the witchpike residue, an answer will suggest itself.
Come to Solitude with us. There must be a place there where you can set up your equipment.
Thank you, but no. I try to avoid large population centers. The temptation. You understand. I'll find someplace nearby, but out of the way where I can set up my equipment and work undisturbed. I'll send word when I have something to report.
Do you have a location?
I met a clever woman who lives in the bog near Morthal. Old Mjolin's a dying breed among the Nords, a practitioner of the old magic. The locals both admire and fear her. If anyone can help me untangle the Coven's ritual, it's her. Mjolin's experience with the old ways and reach magic make her ideally suited to assist me in this endeavor. She's the closest thing to an expert we're likely to find out here. At least one who doesn't want to feed our eyes to a harpy.
Where is...
Western Skyrim consists of 3 Hodes. Hafengar, Hjalmarch, and Carthald. Morthal is the capital of Hjalmarch. It's located southeast of Solitude, along the River Hjal. Old Mjolin lives in the marshlands nearby.
Not with anything like this before.
The Raven Watch has had to curtail rogue vampire clans, and put down feral blood fiends on occasion, but I've never dealt with anything like this before. People turning into Harrow fiends, or becoming mindless harrowed. It's a nightmare.
And right, you had a theory back to that.
Yes, but more research is required to confirm anything. Still, from what we observed here, it appears the Harrowstone produced 3 distinct results in those caught within it. It turned them into Harrow fiends, or harrowed, or it simply killed them.
Here's Lou.
So, what did your vampire friend discover?
He thinks the Harrow Storms create the Harrow Fiends and the Harrow.
Reach witches summoning magical storms to create feral vampires? That's horrible, but to what purpose? Well, that's the next puzzle to solve. First, we need to get this information to the Queen. Here. This was for Brondel, but it's yours now.
Roll this time.
Queen Gerhild needs to hear what we discovered at Kilcreath Temple. Hopefully that will be enough for her to get us an audience with High King Svargrim.
Do we have enough evidence to...
The Queen seemed reasonable. She'll believe us. As for Svargrim, who can tell? I haven't met the man, but everything I've heard describes him as prideful, arrogant, and hard-headed. Even with the Queen's help, there's no guarantee.
What do we do if High King...
I'd like to knock down the palace door, grab him by the throat, and shake him until he listens. That would probably start a war, though, and Yoren specifically asked me to avoid that. For now, let's bring our evidence to Queen Gerhild. If there's anything else we need to discuss, let's get it out of the way now, before we return to Solitude.
Coven? None people in Paraffin.
Hey, you and Fenorian came to that conclusion, not me. Still, it makes as much sense as anything. As to why, I have no idea. This connection to vampires, though, that's troubling. We should keep Fen away until we get into Svargrim's good graces.
Yeah, he's gonna...
A clever woman? Out here? Nords are extremely distrustful of magic, especially Nords from western Skyrim. I'm surprised the people of Morthal tolerate her presence. If anyone can help Fen figure out the Coven's ritual, though, it would be her. Our priority remains getting an audience with High King Svargrim. We need to convince him that the Icereach Coven is a threat to his kingdom, and get him to help us stop them. Let's return to Solitude and present our findings to the Queen.
What we do, though...
Clever men and women are Nords with an aptitude for magic, though most use the term to refer to practitioners of the old ways. They're rare. Not the usual adepts found at the Mages Guild. Distrust of magic runs deep in Skyrim, especially out here. Could be that the elves our ancestors fought soured our taste for magic. Or maybe there weren't enough skalds singing about wizards going to Sovngarde. Might be that Nords just prefer their natural talents. Either way, magic isn't popular here.
Oh, we leveled up. Yep. Attribute. Still active. Staff. Solitude. My horse. Ride past mode. So normally I would fight them for the purposes. Primarily because if we log down fighting every ride past. Not every enemy we ride past. The will end up being an hour long. I do want to try to get it's done. Go to the Blue Palace. Why? I don't know. So, when come along. Yeah? Yeah? You already had. Yeah, I think it gives you a. Now, I'm going to do all of the side missions. Region. I'm going to get the quest done first. I'm doing that in this series, just
If we do not end this war,
for
it will
YouTube.
end us.
Normally, I would do the. I'm.
Help! Assassins in the palace! Help!
That's one of the Queen's attendants.
Let's
Let's
not.
get inside.
Faster there.
Be strong, Svana.
Mother! No! No!
Svana, your father, the kingdom. Watch over.
Mother! No! You can't die! Mother!
Sire, the assassins might return. You must get to somewhere safe.
Have Yoren's lackeys come to gloat?
We came here to warn you, Your Highness.
And yet my wife lies dead,
If you had listened to us,
like she did. If I determine Yoren had a hand in this, there will be war! Someone take care of my wife!
Father, please.
gods, what a disaster. The Queen's been assassinated and Svargrim still refuses to listen to reason. We need to find a way to set things right.
Assassin. As well. The broke.
Good question. The guards should have been able to handle a run-of-the-mill assassin. This could be connected to the Icereach Coven. In fact, I'd wager my axe that it is.
What are we doing now?
Look around. See if you can find any indication of how the assassin got in and out of the palace so easily. Maybe even turn up something that ties the murderer to the Coven. I'll make sure the princess is all right.
I'll see what I can find. I wonder what it could be. Let's check this bookshelf. Not that book. Better from the contact. So far, into the terrible threat not only to Skyrim but Tamriel. My liege, Yoren the Skald King, off this threat before it grows in scope. Power, but I need more. Skald. Meet me near the gates. Solitude. Old and wet. Skyrim. Compare notes and Rondol. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this. Some shattered glass. Let's run.
Svana's taking this pretty hard. I suppose most daughters feel close to their mothers. Not that I'd know, I never knew my mother. Sorry, don't mind me. Did you find anything that might lead us to the assassin?
I found this medallion.
We've seen these medallions before. On the Reachman near Kilcreath. And I saw them on the witches in Icereach. The assassin definitely seems to be in league with the Coven. But can we get Svargrim to believe that and accept the danger he's in?
He sounded pretty angry to me, guessing that.
Svargrim has every right to be angry. He watched his wife die right before his eyes. But he's the High King. He doesn't have the right to be stupid. Time to make Svargrim confront some hard truths. Come on, the Sword Thane led the king upstairs. We need to see the High King.
I should think not. The High King is in mourning. He's not to be disturbed.
The Queen's wasn't the only life lost today. Now get out of our way.
Go right in.
What a
Your
god.
Highness, please. Your kingdom is in grave danger.
My queen's blood hasn't yet cooled, and already Yoren's lackeys hound me.
We have proof that the
Does
Coven threatening
Yoren
your
think
kingdom
me
is
so weak that he
responsible.
believes his half-giant
Show
can
him.
twist my arm and fill my head with lies? I am not so easily duped, outsider.
Not really Yoren you need to be concerned with.
Reach witches. They pose no threat. We've beaten back those wild dogs time and time again, while our brothers to the east bow down to a poetry-writing milk drinker. I will not be lectured on such matters by the likes of you.
Hey, did you? Been a bunch of your people.
Tales told around campfires to scare the children. Storms happen here all the time, and none of them spawn monsters. The last spy who spoke of such things, well, he no longer speaks of such things. I am the Wolf of Solitude. I know my enemies.
You know your wife asked us to.
You dishonor my wife's name by letting it pass through your treacherous lips. Away with you! And pray I don't find evidence that ties you to the Queen's murder. That would not go so well for you.
We'll leave you to your grief, Your Highness.
And I could resurrect her.
Is it true? Mother told me you were working for her before she...
I'm sorry, Svana.
My mother. She told me she gave the mighty Lyris Titanborn an important task. Tell me, what were you doing for my mother?
Gathering.
Threat? What threat? And do you think this is why someone came into the palace and killed her?
Icereach Coven is.
And did you tell my father all this? Is he rallying the soldiers? Alerting the other holds?
Plot of the Skald King.
My father sees Yoren's plots everywhere, even in his spicy venison stew. Well, I won't let my mother's death be for nothing. She trusted you, and so will I. My father be damned. Please, find whoever did this and stop them.
But we can.
I saw the assassin. He moved fast. Unbelievably fast. He leaped through the window after stabbing my mother. By that time the guards had gathered, so I guess he decided to flee. Try to follow his trail. Someone outside must have seen something.
Get a good.
He was fast, that's for certain. Here and gone before the guards could even draw their swords. Other than that, I didn't get a good look. The inside of his hood was nothing but shadows. No. My mother... The last time we spoke, I hurled a mug at her. But I came when she summoned me, just in time to see her murdered. I need to pull myself together. She asked me to watch over my father. The kingdom. I can't let her down.
Did you talk to the High King about the threat? You might listen.
My father? Listen to me? When Horkers fly, maybe. But probably not even then. He gave up on me a long time ago. I'm sorry. I'm no use to you. No use to anyone.
I heard what your mother told you. She didn't believe.
I'm not my mother. Never will be. But I swear I'll do whatever I can to help you. You have my word on that.
He'd help
Come on,
me.
Princess. Let's get you somewhere safe.
Don't call me princess. Just Svana. There's nothing noble about me.
What do you want?
Greetings.
All these.
What do you want?
My wife. She is like ice. So cold. So pale. All the warmth sucked out of her.
Happened to.
There was a commotion at the palace. Everyone was headed that way. Except one man. No, not a man. He wore an eye patch, but his face was bestial. He dragged her along like a bone between a dog's teeth. Then he tossed her aside, pale as snow.
Where did he?
He was fast, so fast, ran to the Hall of the Dead. He never even looked back at what he had done.
Will you pray with me for these poor souls? Cut down and bound for the Hall of the Dead much too soon.
What happened?
It was a monster, a vampire. I have seen such creatures before, but this one wore an eye patch. It moved like a shadow and took sustenance from these poor souls. I called upon Arkay's grace, and the vampire fled before his sacred presence.
Where did he?
Toward the main gate. I pray the guard finished off the depraved creature before it took another innocent life.
I can't remember her name. The pretty one with the beard.
You again? Didn't I warn you about putting your nose where it doesn't belong?
That a vampire came.
A vampire? I don't know what you're talking about. But whoever it was tore out Senolia's throat and fled through the gate before I could stop him. What do you know about all this? And why is it any of your business?
The vampire assassin. Hild. Princess Svana asked me to track him down.
The Queen's dead? What about the High King? He'll have my head for letting the assassin slip away.
Your head is probably the least of your... About this?
You think... Would the High King really... But I'm a loyal subject. No more talk. I need to get Senolia off the street.
This is Svargrim's fault. He should have heeded us from the start. Damn Svargrim and his distrust of Yoren. How many more of his people have to die before he accepts the truth and lets us help him? Forget that for now. Tell me about the assassin. Did anyone get a good look at the murderer?
So he killed more people as he fled out the gate. A priest identified him as a...
That would explain the assassin's swiftness and ability to escape so easily. We knew the Icereach Coven had vampires on their side, but using them so blatantly. Anything else to report?
Other than the assassin was a vampire who wore an eye patch and escaped?
Well then, time to fight fire with fire. They've got evil vampires and we've got a friendly one. Let's find out exactly what your friend Fen knows about vampire clans in the area. Where did you tell me Fen was going again?
Fenorian is going to see a clever...
Right. To research the ritual. Go find them and see what you can learn. I'll stay with Svanna. Bring her up to speed on everything we've uncovered. We're going to need her to get the High King to trust us. And I'm calling him Fen. It's simpler.
Fen it is, whatever. I'll find him and see if he can help us track down the Queen Gerhild's assassin. Probably. Let's go. Yeah, okay. And any recipes.
Welcome to the middle of nowhere, my friend. You must be freezing. Warm yourself by the fire, and tell me how your audience with the High King went.
Yeah, go well. Icereach Coven assassinated the Queen, and now the High King distrusts us even more. Wouldn't say it went well.
A bold move, even for them. Old Njolin and I have been comparing notes, and we've made some progress studying the Harrowstorm ritual. What happened to your large friend with the axe, by the way?
Lyris stayed behind. Savannah. Your help? I was talking about earlier. I mean, vampire.
We knew that vampires were working with the Coven. And old Mjolin and I can say with certainty that the feral Harrow fiends are byproducts of Harrow storms. You think the assassin was one of the vampires in league with the Coven?
I know it was a vampire. Eye patch.
An eye patch? That's uncommon. And this insignia, I've seen it before. It's the same as the symbol that decorates the urns smuggled out of Bankarai. If it belongs to a vampire bloodline, I'm not familiar with it. I suggest you ask Mjolin.
Mjolin.
Local wisdom dictates that only the very brave or the very foolish seek the counsel of vampires and old crones. Which are you, I wonder? Well, out with it. What can old Mjolin do for you? A grim talisman. It bears an enchantment of some kind, though the symbol upon it holds no significance that I'm aware of. I can help find the owner of this medallion. But I need some specific items to cast such a divination.
And what would you need?
Bring me the bones of a wolf and a death bell plant pulled up by its roots. I need the plant alive. The wolf, not so much. With those reagents, I can conjure a divination that will lead you directly to the last person to wear this medallion.
Yeah, I'll gather the ingredients. Done soon.
Death bell grows throughout the bog. You should have no trouble acquiring it. Wolves are plentiful in the wilderness around Morthal as well, but be cautious. Many seem afflicted by a strange curse. I would hate for you to run afoul of it.
What kind of curse?
An icy rime clings to the wolves, sapping the heat and life from their bodies until only a frigid, shambling corpse remains. You are safe from them here, but be mindful out in the wild.
Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you. Guys, before we head off, thanks for hanging out. And you guys are the cat's pajama. The absolute tits.